Welcome back to the Sanctuary, Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, and the physical ranged DPS role quest. Chris Valentine here. Last episode, we pursued, what's his name to Porta Praetoria here in the locks. We went with a few merchants, got ambushed, and easily took care of them. No problem. Anywhoozy, normally I would spin the wheel of range, but Dancer's the only one left on the list. So we're just gonna, well, we'll refresh this for next episode and get right down to it. Dancer, I enjoyed leveling. The gear, meanwhile, it's not bad, but I kind of like the Étoile gear a little bit more, so we're just going to link that glamour plate right back up. Oh, and then it's got the 2-dice system now, so I wanted to check that too. Oh yeah, I did have it like this. Oh, that looks so much better. Anywho, no time to waste. Let's get right down to it with the next quest in our journey, the level 94 quest, Take Me to Your Leader. At a guess, I'd say the Resistance has been interrogating the captured highwaymen for long enough to get some answers from them. With any luck, we may even learn more about where we can find Ceetol Fight. I'm sure the commander is as eager as we are to put a stop to his misdeeds. Let's go and see if she's unearthed any useful information. Dookie Duke. Where they at? 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 There she is. I was just about to send someone for you. Glad you could save me the bother. I have a favor to ask of you both. I'm going to let the criminal walk free, and I want you to follow him. You see, our questioning has revealed that the bandits are indeed working with Ceetol Fight. If we cut one of them loose, he might lead us straight to their den. But if the mission fails and you're discovered, you may find yourselves confronted with an untold number of outlaws. Of course, I considered sending my own men, but I suspect that by now the bandits know our faces. After Chris's little display in the gully, I'm sure he alone can handle whatever trouble may come his way. I'll go with him. If this really does lead us to Ceetol Fight, I need to be there when we find him. Very well, but if it comes to a fight, you stay behind Chris. Understood? I'll have the suspect brought over now, but remember what I said. And stay out of sight until he leaves. Don't look at me like that! I said I'm sorry, didn't I? Aye, that you did. Several times. And as much as it galls me, there's no evidence to contradict your claim that you were acting in self-defense. Nor is there tangible proof of any other wrongdoing. We've no choice but to let you go. You have somewhere to go, I presume. Well, I suppose I can find work learning caravans in Alagiri. It's as good a place as any for making a quick turning over a new leaf. In that case, I'll have you escorted there. But you best keep your nose clean, or we'll come down on you like a tons of bricks. Turn over a new leaf, my arse. He'll be back among his thieving mates before long, and you'll be right there behind him. For now, all we need to know is the location of their den. Do not attempt to approach the suspects. I'll send word ahead to the Alagiri. Once you have the information we need, report to the troop station there. This is the chance we've been waiting for. Let's go! All right. Off to Alagiri. All right, what do we got? There he is. So much for finding work in Alagiri. Oh, so much for finding work in Alagiri. He's only just arrived and he's already leaving town. Now comes the tricky part. Keeping our eyes on him and his eyes off us. Stick close, but not too close. Follow the bandit from a distance. The objective will end in failure if you're noticed or fall too far behind. All right. Free at last. Gotta make sure I ain't being followed. Hide. Better have a look around first. This dumbass is really circling around. What a pretty stone. Bet it's worth a gill or two. Which way was it? Left, I think. Better have a look about. Looks like I'm not being followed. Could have sworn I heard something. He won't be able to spot us if we keep hidden. Hang on. What happened to the others who got caught? Not my problem, I suppose. Time to head back. Huh? Oh, there's Ceetol Ja. Really? All we had to do was hide behind this tree? Those are the merchants we met at Porta Pretoria. So they just let you go out of the kindness of their hearts, is that it? Not only that, but you came crawling straight back here, leaving whoever they sent to track you right to our doorstep. I swear it, no one followed me. The soldiers took me as far as Alagiri and then went back the way they came. Made sure there were specks in the distance before I even set foot outside of town. I suppose I've no choice but to take you at your word. Not that it's worth much. Well, now that this charade is at an end, let us change into something a little less drab. Shelter fight? Why did you make us fight that bloke without the blessing? He could have killed the lot of us without breaking a sweat. A mere oversight, that is all. Though it pains me to admit it, even with the invulnerability granted by the artifact, the likes of us are ever at the mercy of the truly powerful. I never expected that a Mamolja wretch to hire a warrior of such a caliber to retrieve the vessel. A pox on those interfering nincompoops. But the Mamolja girl didn't seem a bad sort. Naive, maybe. It's plain that her heart's in the right place. You truly are pathetic. Not only did you fail miserably, but now you're sympathizing with the enemy. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't rid myself of you permanently. No, please! We owe everything to you, Shelter Fight! Without you, we are nothing! You were all in on this beat from the beginning, with Shelter Fight pulling the strings. If this is how he treats his friends, imagine what he'd do to his enemies. You couldn't stay away, could you? What? Imbecile! You led them right to us! Kakolja! Eliminate these vermin! Let me handle this, Chris. You're from Tural, working here as a mercenary, yes? The ones who hired you stole the Steelhawk vessel from my village. We need its blessing to stand a chance against the beasts of the forests. I can't return home without the vessel.
Either you return home empty-handed, or you won't be returning at all. I'd rather not harm a fellow Dorali, so get out of here before I change my mind. I bought enough time by listening to your blathering. Don't let me catch you sniffing around our tails.
Shuttlefate and his underlings are out of sight. I thought that I could make that Ceetol Ja see sense, but he was clearly in no mood to listen. I'd say our best option is to report to the resistance members in Alagiri and share what we have learned. Well, that's a bummer. There he is.
Regardless of how things turned out, we appreciate your cooperation in the investigation. The information you provided has certainly given us a lot to consider. From what I hear, you almost came to blows with a Mamulja cell sword. Or cell axe, I suppose. I'm glad that it didn't come to violence, especially given the power these bandits have at their disposal. Even so, we thank you for braving such a dangerous mission.
No thanks are needed. We're just as much as a part of this investigation as the resistance. And I'm sure we can agree we'll need to work together to take down Shuttlefate and his gang. Their performance at Porta Praetoria showed just how cunning they are.
It seems so, yes. I'm told the little act was most convincing. I'll be sure to warn my comrades against any similar shenanigans. As for the two of you, be careful out there.
Ceetol Ja? All things considered, I'd say that went fairly well. Shuttlefate used the same trick as the time he came to my village, namely, posing as a simple trader when he is in fact a dastardly thief. Still, not even the most skilled actor can fake their fear in his men's eyes. It appears that Shuttlefate has complete control over them, and they are powerless to resist. The only one who doesn't seem afraid of him is Ceetol Ja. He even let us go when he had no obligation to do so. I think that if we had the chance to talk, we might find some common ground.
Sounds like wishful thinking to me.
Perhaps you're right, but I'm not ready to give up just yet. While I'm certainly not the best fighter, I've been told I'm a good judge of character. For most of my life, I've lived in a remote village, deep in the forest. I had hardly any contact with the outside world, so the thought of talking to strangers was quite daunting at first. But over the course of my journey, I've traveled through all kinds of places. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Wherever you go, people are people. In the end, our cultures and the places where we grew up don't make that big a difference. None of us are perfect, and we each have our faults. Even if it's harder to find in some than in others, I believe there is good in all of us. That's why I hope we have another chance to speak with the thieves and Ceetol Ja. I'm certainly not strong enough to beat any sense into them, so I'll try talking some sense into them instead. having said, well, all of that, I can't feel even a shred of goodness in that shuttle fight. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, or perhaps violence is the only language he understands. Things might get a little tough before he's willing to listen. Anyway, we can save him for last. I'll try thinking of a way to reach out to the other members of the gang. Give me a little time, would you? Sounds good to me. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, here are all the links. See you in a bit.